This 26 Sports high school basketball presentation is presented by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cadillac High School My News 26 Sports Girls Basketball Game of the Week. Alongside my broadcast partner, Morris Langworthy Jr., the best of all three.
You bet. Hi, Jay. How are you doing?
I am Jay Simon, and our inaugural girls basketball game. We had boys on Tuesday night when the Vikings played host to the Ogama Heights Falcons. Tonight, we've got the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators making the trip down here to take on the Lady Vikings of Cadillac High School. And we are getting the starting lineups for both teams right now as we make a quick little dot. But I'll get Morris to talk about these two teams for a quick second. Morris, Cadillac comes into this game 2-2. The Gladiators come into this game 3-1. But there are at least 2+ kids on both teams that you and I would both be looking up to. There's a lot of height out there on the floor.
You bet. You know, and I'll tell you what. I would say that Cadillac has a slight advantage over St. Francis this evening. I'm going to start this thing off with probably about an 8-point spread at the end. But and that's only because the Cadillac girls basketball team is definitely going to. They have a two-man defense that, and they're a lot more aggressive than St. Francis has been up to this point. But I'm calling this one at about 8 points right now.
All right. Well, we talked to head coach Mary Kay Johns of the Vikings, and Coach Johns told us that she expects the Gladiators to be very up-tempo. She expects them to push the ball up the floor. And one of the things I asked her about was they've only got an 8-man roster.
Right.
The Vikings do. Did she worry about her bench and running out of gas toward the end? She said it was a factor in the first game, but she doesn't expect it to be a factor tonight. Girls have their legs under them, if you will, and she's expecting them to be fine.
I can appreciate that. And I'll tell you, Cadillac shows a little bit more hustle also. So if they do slow it down, they're probably going to be slowing down to St. Francis' pace.
This Gladiator team has made some runs in the postseason over the last couple years, and they're pretty young. Only three seniors on the roster, Morris. 5 sophomores on the roster, and we'll get you the starters in just a moment, but we've got the opening tip here. Gladiators quickly down the other way, and Annie Lyman with the layup.
Starts it off.
Yep.
You know, I'll tell you what, there's definitely a height advantage there, and they showed that in the tip-off that Cadillac is going to have to get past.
Yep, Juliana Phillips, the 6'4" junior, and it's a 2-0 lead. Annie Lyman with that bucket for the Gladiators.
Good two-man defense on the St. Francis side and good zone coverage as well.
Gladiators running in a bit of a man-to-man here, it looks like right now. Vikings looking for somewhere. Nicole Kleinsorge finds Hope Emmington on the left wing. Back top side for Emmington. Kylie Christensen there, number 34. She likes to play down low, but there are kids on this other roster. Nice backdoor look. And the shot just off the mark for Kleinsorge.
Definitely showing a little excitement there. Got to slow it down before you make that shot, you know.
Here's a 3 from the right wing. That's back iron. That was Lauren Bramer And a nice rebound by Kleinsorge. 2-0 St. Francis, just underway here in Cadillac. Kleinsorge looking for a posting up Michaela Johns, and I think they're going to get Johns for the foul.
They did.
Maybe a little bit of aggressive post up.
Yep. You know, we're a minute and a half into this, and Cadillac is still scoreless.
Yep.
Oh.
I was going to say there's it's definitely a violation there.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely a misstep taken out of bounds, and it cost her. Can't pass it to yourself.
Phillips looked at the official like she couldn't understand what happened.
I still don't think
clearly
she really
stumbled
did.
that ball,
Yeah.
and stepped inbounds before recovering with it.
Exactly.
So, well, the Vikings will take over. Emmington into the paint and rejected. That's a tough one for Hope
Nice
Emmington.
stop.
And a great block from Lauren McDonald. Quickly the other way come the Gladiators.
Emmington really found a hole there and wasn't able to capitalize on it.
Straightaway three
And look
ball.
at that, top of the key.
And Lyman, the senior, 5 points, 5-0 Gladiators.
Cadillac is still scoreless going into the first 2 minutes of this quarter.
Johns double teamed in the corner. Christensen. Swing it over topside. Driving is Alexis Little. Finds Johns on the baseline. She'll try that little floater. And a strong rebound from Phillips.
Nice
Saved by
save.
the Gladiators. Bramer at the top of the key against Emmington. Bramer long two. Christensen with the rebound. 5.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. 5-0 Gladiators.
We still haven't seen anything out of Cadillac at this point. Getting a real slow start in this game.
Emmington looking for Johns down low. Johns again double teamed. Forced one up, hit the side of the backboard. Quickly the other way is Lyman. Finds Phillips on the far side, and Phillips lays it up and in. 7-0 Traverse City. I should say St. Francis. There's a lot of schools.
Yes,
There's a
yes,
nice
there is.
look for Christensen.
Cadillac's on the board.
Yeah, nice look for Christensen ahead of the defense. And now here's Emmington with a
nice
steal. And Phillips, 7-2 now, St. Francis. Top side for Phillips. And we're going to get a travel call on Lyman. Well, Vikings showing a little life there, Morris, with the bucket and the steal.
You know, I'll tell you, it's taken them a while to actually to find the basket. Oh,
Johns was hoping.
Serious miscommunication there.
Yeah, I think Johns thought Emmington was going to break for the other side of the court. It was a nice idea. I'm going to assume that that young Michaela Johns plays softball, and if she doesn't, she should give it a shot. That was a heck of an arm. 7-2 as we've got a Viking timeout, 30-second variety for the Vikings as Coach Johns wants to discuss some things.
You know, you haven't really seen any real organization yet with regards to moving the ball back and forth down the court on either side. So it remains to be seen yet who's going to get legs here. There's no rhythm yet. There's no real momentum that can be built from that because you don't have a real rhythm yet.
Now, when you look at these two teams in the 4 games when they came into this contest, as I mentioned, Cadillac at 2-2, Traverse City St. Francis 3-1. The Vikings have not put up more than 48 points in a game, whereas the Gladiators had only one sub-50 game, and they've put up over 70 in a couple of their wins. So from an offensive standpoint, I think the Vikings primarily look to play defense first and try to keep their opponents from scoring, whereas the Glads might be happy to outscore opponents as Phillips off the inbounds pass draws the foul.
That's an interesting perspective, seeing as how the only way that you're going to win this is by playing offensively.
You have to score more points than the other team.
Exactly.
But you really only need, as my cohort Gary Vanna on radio likes to say, you only need 2 points if they never score.
True.
Phillips makes the first. Nice looking free throw from Juliana Phillips. That young lady will be playing college basketball or volleyball, one or the other, I'm sure, at the next level. Just a junior. She rattles home the second. 9-2 Gladiators. Vikings now coming against the Gladiator press. They break it, but then there's a turnover on the other end. And that's going to be a travel.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be traveling.
McDonald just never got the handle on that one.
No.
Head coach Keith Haskey of the Glads calling out the play. Coaches both boys and
nice
girls.
Nice steal by St. Francis. Yep. Gladiators took that
and
one.
Lyman with a nice look to Phillips on the far side, who lays it up and in. She's got 6 here in the opening quarter, and it's 11-2 Gladiator lead. Emmington trying to break the press. Double teamed. Down low for Christensen, a little too hot, and it's going to go off the foot of Liz Piles, who's checked into the game for the Vikings.
In spite of the coverage of getting that ball down there, the Vikings are not moving that ball amongst themselves. They're not communicating amongst themselves the way they should be.
Morgan Knaus has checked into the game for the Vikings as there's a long 2-ball from Lauren Bramer. And the Gladiators take a 13-2 lead with 3:50 to go here in the opening quarter. Here's Knaus. Nice look down low for Piles. Piles double team. She'll kick it out to Emmington. Down low for Christensen, who turns and lays it up and in.
Now, that was the Vikings showing they could play basketball.
That was good ball movement, absolutely.
It was. Nice setup.
13-4 St. Francis. There's a kick out. 3 on the way from Bramer, too strong. Battle for the rebound. And I think Kleinsorge was hoping that the official thought that went off the Glads. Mm-hmm. Official begs to differ. It'll be Gladiator basketball. Sarah Chenard will trigger. Down low to Phillips, and nice defense by Christensen. There's a scrum for the ball. We'll get a jump ball situation, and it will belong to the Vikings.
You know, while they're setting this up, that'd be a good time to mention to everyone that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our sponsors this evening.
That's a great point.
We'd like to thank Pac Mail and Dynamic Physical Therapy, as well as Trend Designers and High Point Cadillac GMC here in Cadillac for putting this together for us.
The turnover by the Vikings will give the ball back to the Glads. Also want to thank Cadillac Casting Incorporated for their support of sports here on My News 26 as the Vikings on the other end. Christensen with a nice look down low for Knaus. Can't finish, but the Vikings will come back up with it.
Cadillac Casting's been here for us every step of the way, and they are hands down an exclusive sponsor of My News 26 Sports.
Yep. Supported all 3 football games that we've done here on My News 26. Hockey. Nice ball movement from the Vikings. Emmington to Christensen. She'll take a long 2. And Phillips with the rebound, holding it above her head like a
Cadillac
good 6'4" kid
finally starting
should.
to set up their shots and play some good basketball. Look at that, though, wide open and allows the Gladiators to take a shot.
Yep. Joanna Tarsa's bucket off the mark, and there's a nice strong rebound from Piles. 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, 13-4, St. Francis with the lead.
Jay, you're right about one thing, and that is Cadillac, even though they're off to a slow start, they're starting to show some good ball handling and some good setting up of these plays before they make the shot.
Yep,
before it was just wild and blind.
Give the Gladiators defense a lot of credit. This man-to-man defense making it difficult, and they're not afraid to switch as now you got the 6'4" Phillips on Emmington. Down low for Piles, looking for Christensen in the middle, and it's tapped away. Minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Little hesitation move, and off the glass, the hoop and the harm. Did they call this on the floor, or is it going to count?
I don't think we're going to get the shot.
I think they're pointing to the floor, so I believe that this is going to be, yeah, no shot. They are going to say it was on the floor. That was a spectacular bucket by Ann Lyman, but the foul call before she got the shot up. It's too bad.
Shot was a little late.
NBA, that would have been a three-point opportunity.
Yes.
So the foul on the floor, just the third on the Vikings, so the Gladiators will inbound. Swung around, down low for Phillips against Christensen, who holds her ground, does a nice job defensively there against the bigger Phillips. Emmington over the timeline. Emmington against Lyman. Christensen defended by Phillips. The drive, stop, pop off the glass. Nice bucket from Alexis Little. Her first basket of the game, 13-6 St. Francis. Inside a minute to go.
You know, this game is definitely changing its complexion. You know, we saw 11-2, and now we're seeing 13-6. So the Vikings, over the last couple minutes, have actually outscored the St. Francis Gladiators.
Some nice defense there by Little, forces the turnover. Gladiators, though, looking to press. Get it into Knaus, and she'll take it all the way up the right sideline. Now double teamed at the top of the key. Tapped, Emmington.
Good D on Pax on the Gladiators.
Piles with a nice little turnaround floater. Liz Piles with her first bucket of the game. It's 13-8, 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Lyman behind the back dribble, up off the glass, in and out. That was a nice little move there from Lyman. And now this is going to go off the hands.
Of the hands of Cadillac.
It did, yes off of Knaus. He pointed that way, and for some reason I thought that was the Vikings' direction. Don Blue, one of our officials, getting that call absolutely right. Lyman stops, pops from 15, and drains it. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play. 15-8, Gladiators with the lead. We will take a break, be back with the second quarter. You're watching the Girls High School Basketball Game of the Week on My News 26 Sports.